So welcome to you. And I would also like to start off by acknowledging that NIDA, this NIDA building, is on Bidjigal and Gadigal land. And I would like to pay my respects to the traditional custodians of this land, those past, present and emerging. We are very fortunate to have our NIDA buildings, this amazing facility where we do our learning and teaching. We're very fortunate to have, to be able to, as I say, learn and teach in this area. So today we are here to have a bit of a discussion about the Diploma of Stage and Screen Performance at NIDA. It's a very unique course. Once I have spoken a little bit about the course, we'll be inviting 2 graduates to join us, and it'll be very interesting for you who are watching and listening to hear a little bit about the experiences of those graduates, both when they were at NIDA and then what they've been doing since they have left. And then a little later this afternoon, we will be having a Q&A session where I'm hoping those of you that are interested maybe in doing the course might have some questions for us, because we'd love to answer them. So again, welcome to everyone. And I'll just take you through a little bit of a snapshot as to what you could expect in your year of the Diploma of Stage and Screen Performance at NIDA. As the title of the course suggests, there are pretty much 2 halves to the training. We created this course ourselves, and we had it accredited ourselves because industry told us that there were opportunities, there were work opportunities for young, very talented young people who were skilled and trained in certain processes for both stage and screen, and that particularly for the screen side, there was a bit of a lack in the training opportunities that were out there. So that's why NIDA turned its attention to this course and created this very unique course. It's a year long. Now that means that basically you would start very early February, and currently, if you were in the course, you would then go right through until October. So it's the better part of a year. It's intensive, meaning that you're training 4 full days a week. So you are doing 9 to 5, Monday to Thursday. And sometimes if we need to vary that, we will give you warning. Sometimes we're in rehearsals, or we are getting ready for technical performances, and we have to vary those days. But one of the reasons we chose to concentrate the training into 4 full days a week is because we understand that some people need to work on one of those remaining days of the week. So it does give you, the course is designed to give you the opportunity to undertake casual or part-time work. And those other days also allow you time to prepare for any class materials, learn lines, or do some research so that you can be ready for your classes at the start of any week. Now, it's a very practical course, and as I mentioned, we try and balance the stage with the screen work. And people are often surprised that from their first week at NIDA, they're already doing screen classes and 2 camera classes, as well as what you would normally expect in a performance course. So you're doing voice classes, movement classes, script analysis, how to respond to scripts. You're doing acting classes, but our philosophy for this course is different to the ways in which some courses are structured. We don't believe that you learn how to act and then you put those skills into screen work. We believe that you can train and learn those skills concurrently. So you're doing stuff for the live context, stuff for the recorded context, right from the get-go, as I said, makes the course quite unique. We also investigate in the course storytelling principles, and so that the students in the course, as well as developing their own performance skills, have an understanding as to what goes into storytelling, how stories are put together, what the different ingredients are, because sometimes the future for some graduates is the creation of original materials. So as well as I said, responding to scripts, learning how to do that best and be natural, we also give you opportunities in improvisation and in creating original works. And as the year goes on, we give you opportunities to collaborate with each other, with the other students, but also sometimes outside the cohort. What's quite unique about NIDA is that under the one roof, we have a whole range of disciplines that are being investigated. So if you walk into our building on any normal day, and we're all here, you'll find directing students, writing students, designers, costume makers, props makers, as well as performers. And what that means for you is that you're in this really creative, very exciting hub where all entertainment disciplines are being explored. And that means you get to meet the generation of people who are emerging into the industry from a whole range of disciplines. I mention this because some of those meetings are, I suppose, informal and casual, but we also structure in some formalised collaborative ventures with other courses. I can give you one example, and quite regularly the students in the Diploma of Stage and Screen Performance will collaborate with, for example, the MFA Directors course. So you're working with another cohort, with the staff and the students. And for a number of years, we've had some really amazing scene work that's happened between those cohorts. So that's just to give you an example of a collaborative opportunity that would happen if you're at NIDA. And I think that word that I just used, collaborative, is key to our discussion here today, because a lot of people quite rightly would think, if I'm developing my skills as a performer, they're my skills in terms of my vocal qualities, my physical qualities, how I perform. But a big part of your training here at NIDA is how you relate to and work with other people. And that's a mirror of what happens in the industry. It's not like painting or writing, which you can do very privately up to a point. Those forms of expression and communication are also collaborative, but it's absolutely true that in the entertainment industry, you have to find ways to best negotiate what you need to do with what other people need to do. So we're always looking for these opportunities for ways of working with others so that you can develop those collaborative skills. I also think that technology plays such an important role in the entertainment industry today. That goes without saying. Here I am in an empty theatre. It's empty only because we are at the tail end, fingers crossed, of this pandemic that we've all been negotiating. And normally we would have invited you into the NIDA building so you could have a look and we could meet you. But I suppose what the pandemic has done, as well as keep us all isolated, it's really forced us to reflect on the nature and potential of recorded entertainments. A lot of us have been watching a lot of things or making things or communicating with each other through a medium such as we're doing now. So I think that aspects of that are probably here to stay. They're here to stay with us. I think we will always have such a hunger for each other's stories, for watching things, creating things, participating in creating characters and telling stories. But I think technology will become increasingly a part of how we do that. And we do put some time here at NIDA into introducing you to and utilising simple forms, but very effective forms of current technologies to help tell our stories. One of the things that you get to do when you are at NIDA in this course is build up a portfolio of work and rehearse some work that you then present in what we call a showcase form. So in our third term, we increasingly put attention on this showcase, which has live performance elements and recorded elements. And it's an opportunity for you to demonstrate where you're at with your skills development and share that with NIDA staff, with family, with friends. But we also invite in directors and agents and producers so that they can come along and see who's coming through this course. And you have this opportunity, of course, then to show off your skills. And we see that as a really important part of what we do. And we see, again, those two halves of the live and the recorded as being crucial in that. It's not always certain when you're doing the course whether you necessarily want to pursue a screen, try and find work in screen or live. Some people really enjoy exploring both and developing both, and some people have a leaning for one over another. But as I say, we try and develop those skills concurrently. They're very complementary skills, and the showcase really does reveal both of those. I might just take you through a few very simple pieces of information to do with the application process. This year, for the first time, our initial part of our auditions will be online. So we would like you to submit some contrasting monologues. And the material really can come from whatever excites you, whether it's something very contemporary, a very contemporary script, or something that we might consider to be classic. It can be for stage, it can be for screen. But so long as it's something that you're passionate about and you enjoy doing and you believe reveals where you're at in your skills development, then it's going to work for you. And then, having looked at those online applications, we're going to have some face-to-face, what we call callbacks. Basically, our job, of all the people that apply for this course, our job really is to try and work out who is most ready for the course as we know it, who is going to benefit from this year-long intensive skills development. That's our job, is to find the people that we believe are most ready for it. It's not to judge your talents. It's really just to try and align where you're at with, as I say, what we know the course is. So when we do meet you face to face, we then involve you in some improvisation, some group improvisation, and we obviously like to hear from you about your experiences and what you hope to get out of the course and any previous training. You'll see that that just in that last slide, you'll see that there were some fees, and there was also mention of the VET student loan amount that's available. So everybody's different. Education is expensive these days. It's one of the reasons we're doing this talk, is to make sure that you have all the information you need before making your decision about the course, because it's a big commitment and an expensive commitment. But a lot of you may be eligible for, if you're interested in the course, may be eligible for the applying for and receiving a VET student loan. And that loan is a little bit under the full fees that you need to pay. So that means that if you do take the loan, you still need to find, I think it was about, I think it might have been around under $1,000 that you'd have to find to pay for the course. So that's just a little bit of information about the course fees, about the length, about the nature of the course. We really do encourage people from across Australia to consider us. It doesn't matter to us if you're from a big town or a small town. We would very much like NIDA to reflect the range of communities that make up Australia. And I have to say, we're also very lucky in that we usually do have with us in the building people that do come from across the country to study here. So find out more by either calling us or, you know, definitely hang around for the Q&A later today if you have questions. But we're really interested, as I say, in people from a range of backgrounds and from across Australia. So thank you to all of you who are watching this. That's just my very brief snapshot about the Diploma of Stage and Screen Performance. What I would like to do now is welcome to the discussion to graduates who have undertaken our course. One of them is Mia Healey. I don't know if you can hear me, Mia, but welcome. I think we're bringing you... There you are. We're here. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and also Drew Parker is with us. Drew, can you see? There you are, Drew. Fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you both for coming along. I think it's important for anybody watching today to actually hear from you guys, because you did the course. So it'll be very interesting for you to talk about what the experience was like and what you've been doing since. And, you know, that's probably a much more honest reflection of what the course might have to offer than me just rabbiting on about the course. Mia, I didn't let everyone know, but I'll start with you. I didn't let everyone know that the course is actually quite young. You know, it's a new program. We put it together, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, because industry told us that such a course should exist. So we thought, let's do it. You know, NIDA wants to reflect, you know, and prepare people for the industry. So I believe 2017, when you did the course, is that when it was? I think you were in our first cohort. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. I was. That was an exciting time.
Exciting time. So in a way, you might have been our guinea pig. So I hope I hope we put everything into the course then what we do now, only a couple of years down the track. I'll come back to you and ask you your thoughts in just a minute. But Drew, you did the course the very next year in 2018. That's right, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I did.
And both of you, this will be interesting, both of you probably came to us at slightly different stages in your lives, because I think, Mia, you came to us straight from school, and then Drew, I think you'd been out there for a while. I think you've been doing bits of work, and, you know, you didn't come to us straight from school. So each of you, you know, found us and we found you in a slightly different time in your lives.
Yeah.
Mia, let's start then with you, please. Tell us about, what brought you to the course. So obviously you'd been doing performance or getting interested in performance in high school. And then you went, oh, I can see NIDA's got this 1-year intensive program. What were you hoping, or, you know, what attracted you to the course?
Well, I was always a massive fan of NIDA. I've always, you know, it was always kind of my plan growing up to like finish school and go to NIDA. That was always what I wanted to do. But when I found out that there was a course that was 1 year, it was so perfect for me because I also wanted to do something that I could just like get in there, do it, and then just get out there in the world again. Because I was kind of tossing up like, do I just go out in the world and like try my shot at acting first and then go to NIDA if, you know, things aren't working out and I need more training. And then this course came up and I was like, that's perfect.
It's actually very interesting that you focus on the length of it, because I haven't even mentioned to everyone watching that one of the reasons we offer this course at NIDA is to quite honestly give people some choice and some options. A lot of people know, and NIDA's reputation over many decades has been built on what we now call the BFA acting course, which is 3 years, which is an amazing course. That course years ago was a 2-year course, then it became a 3-year course, and it continues to be an amazing course. But our 1-year course is something different again, and something, as I said, relatively new, and we believe a lot can be taught in a year. We believe a lot can happen for you in a full year of training. So thank you for mentioning the length. I'd forgotten it was actually one of the things that we wanted to do, was give people, you know, a different option.
Yeah.
Drew, let me cut to you. Tell us a little bit about, as I said earlier, you'd been doing some stuff. I think you'd been doing some smaller, you know, roles and maybe some modelling. I think, if I remember correctly, I think you had or have a bit of a concurrent modelling career happening. Why did you decide to come to NIDA?
I guess like me as well, like I always wanted to, actually, to be honest, like I'd always look at NIDA's site and it'd give me like crazy anxiety. I'd be like, oh, thinking about the auditions and stuff like that. And it was always something I wanted to do in school, but I don't think I was mature enough at the time to do it. But yeah, I kind of like found some casting websites and like did a few gigs, and I was like, oh wait, like I can do this. This is attainable, and it kind of solidified that was something that I wanted to do. And then I started looking into the courses, and I was like, look, I'm gonna audition for acting schools and go to acting school and do that whole thing. Originally, I was going to audition for the 3-year, and I was going to the other various schools to do those auditions, and then I saw that like on a Wednesday, like it was Wednesday, and the audition was on Sunday, and I saw that NIDA had the 1-year course, and I was like, oh, that's mad. I'll go to NIDA, and like that'll be like a test audition for the 3-year audition. And then I got in, and I was like, actually, you know what, this kind of suits me, because like Mia was saying, I kept thinking about how long I was going to be there for. I was going to be like, okay, I'm going to be this old when I get out, and I just wanted to get in and get out, really.
I think it's fantastic for us to hear that. I mean, everybody's story and everybody's need is different. You know, some people, for all the right reasons, would like to do a longer period of study, some are shorter. So I think it's great that we have these options. And it's true to say that we continue, obviously, to grow and learn as we move forward, and we learn from job to job, and our skills, you know, continue to increase, I think, as, you know, as we're saying, as we're working as well. Mia, let me throw back to you. Drew mentioned, you know, the audition process, and actually, you know, visiting the website and being a bit, you know, ill at ease about, you know, that thing called auditions and NIDA, and, you know, we have this reputation that can seem a little bit scary, I suppose. Mm-hmm. What do you recall about the audition that you did? Can you remember back to how it worked, and maybe tell us a bit your feelings about that?
Yeah, I remember it. It was a really great experience. I mean, yeah, it's totally nerve-wracking, but I'd also just loved being in like the NIDA walls, like having done like little short courses like at NIDA when I was a kid. I kind of felt so comfortable there. Like it felt right to be there. But yeah, of course, it was super nerve-wracking as well, because it's, you know, it's a prestigious school and you want to get in and you want to do well. And I remember having a monologue prepared. I think I did this monologue that I did for my like HSC drama piece. And then we did some improv, and we kind of spent the whole day there really. And then we did duologues. But yeah, it was a nerve-wracking experience, but it felt good to be there. And it's nice. It's kind of, you know, when you get out in the industry as well, like you're constantly auditioning, you're constantly being put in those positions as well. So like NIDA is kind of just preparing you for that from the very beginning, you know? Yeah.
It's true. This year, as I told everybody that we would be receiving some online applications initially, but that thing that you mentioned is really important, that we spend some time together. So I think we will still have what we call callbacks, and we'll do them face to face, because you as anybody that's auditioning wants to be certain that the course is right for them. You know, they've got to meet some of the teachers they'll be working with and get a feel for the place. And we think it's important to actually spend a significant amount of time with auditionees as well, so that we can really be certain that you know, you're at a stage where you will benefit from the course. So yeah, good that you mentioned that we did. I think we do that each year. We try and spend quite a lot of time with people once we're meeting together.
Yeah.
Drew, I have a whole different question for you. What happens at NIDA is that, as I said earlier, people come to the building from all across the country. They come from interstate. They have to relocate. I mean, you didn't have to come too far, but your home, I believe, was in the Blue Mountains, which is really only a couple of hours outside of Sydney. But tell us did you travel every day, or did you relocate to Sydney? What did you do?
I moved to Sydney. I just thought it would be better to be down there, you know, like just to, I just think it was a good choice for me, because I wanted to be like wholly in the NIDA experience. So like if I was like jumping on a train or driving back to the Blue Mountains every day, that's 2 hours of my day that I could be spent like connecting with people or just being in the business.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know what you're saying. I think it is exciting though that people, as I say, are in the building from across the country, because the bonds that you form, you know, you have to find kind of a new community or a new family or whatever words you want to put on it, because yes, there are people like Mia. Your home is Sydney, is that right? That's where you were. You were a local, but I think probably around half the students in our building are not local. So it might be interesting for the people watching this little chat to know that there's a lot of people in that situation coming from somewhere else, and they quickly make friends and find a way to, as you said, Drew, to make sure that you can be here on time and ready for class and totally immersed rather than spending too much time travelling. Big question for you, Mia. I know I'm hoping there was more than one thing, but can you tell us what you enjoyed most about your year of training here at NIDA?
You're right. There are more. Yeah, there's so many things that I enjoyed. I think everything being part of the whole experience was amazing. If I had to choose one, I would have to say screen was my favorite. I hadn't done any screen before. I'd just done like plays and like theater stuff in high school. So I was really excited to get involved in the screen aspect of it. And Les Chantry, who was teaching screen while I was there, is just a guru and incredible, and really challenges you and pushes you in this way that makes you just question everything. But it's really like you just learn so much. And I think that I really like cherish still. Like I still look back on those screen classes now, like when I'm auditioning or if I'm on set, I'm thinking about stuff that I learned in those classrooms. I mean, I'm thinking about what I learned in all of the classrooms, from movement and voice to everything. But I definitely think that part of the course prepared me the most for life in the industry as an actor, for sure.
No, that's great to hear, and you'll be pleased to know that Les is still very much a part of the course. We're very lucky to have Les teaching on the course. He's a significant part of it. So yes, he's still here. Drew, what about you? If you had to nominate an aspect of the course that you actually really valued or enjoyed, what would that be?
I really like Les was amazing. I think like he just had a no BS approach to everything, and that really prepared me for the industry. Like he kind of just told it how it is, and I think that was really refreshing and challenging as well. But I think that's how it is. But I really enjoyed. I had a lot of opportunities to work with like the, what was it called? New York Film School. Like they came over, so we worked with them, and then we got to work with the MFA, like the directors, and the improv was great. Garth was great. Like the whole course was awesome. I loved it. I can't really, was I meant to say one?
It's all good. You know what's terrific is between the two of you two, we're hearing just a little bit of the range of some of the stuff, which I haven't yet told everyone who's watching, but there are dedicated classes for improvisation. You get voice and language and accent classes. You get, I suppose you call it movement, but we do acrobatics, we do physical sessions. So as well as the screen acting and how to respond to scripts and so on and create characters, we do see it as important to develop, these other skills. So there's a range of stuff, but absolutely, I can hear both of you nominating the screen side of it as crucial to your enjoyment, and we're fully aware, and we know that the course plays a very important role in preparing people for the screen, and industry, so that's good to know that is something that you both valued, so that's great. Mia, tell us about your experience. It's like in term 3, we turned our attention to preparing scenes, and both recorded and live, for Showcase. So that's that event that I mentioned earlier, where you get to share with family and friends where you're at with your skills. But also there's that formal aspect to it, where Showcase is about inviting producers, agents, casting directors into the building to have a look at who's in the course and to see where you're at. Can you tell us a bit about what you remember about that event called Showcase?
It was a mixture of feelings, because, when you leading up to Showcase, it's sad because you're realizing you're at the end of the course and you're going to miss everyone, and you're going to miss classes and miss being at NIDA, and that's kind of sad. But you're also really excited because it means that you're almost out and you're going to be out there in the industry, and you're nervous because there's, agents and, as you said, producers and family members out in the audience. So it's a whole mixture of emotions that go into making it. But it is so rewarding, and, performing is like what we love to do, and just turning all those nerves into like excitement just makes it, so much fun. It was awesome because we were able to do, I think in our Showcase, we were able to do self-tapes as the screen side of it. I'm not sure if that's how it goes anymore, but I think that was really great because it was just like, looked exactly like an audition space, like a self-tape, which was, I think, really helpful for the people watching to see what we look like in that environment. And I have really fond memories of the Showcase because that's where I signed with my now agent, CBM Clinton. And yeah, I'm really grateful for that experience, and I loved it.
It's great you mentioned that detail of the self-tapes, and that is again very much now a part of that presentation, because every year we, as well as, of course, having the ongoing tutors that teach you, we invite people from industry in to meet with you, or sometimes they meet with us and we ask them what do you need to see or what's happening in the industry. And that's something that's been reinforced as a really important way to meet you, is through self-tapes. So the industry people that come to Showcase, kind of tell us, what they need to see. So I think there was one year it wasn't in the Showcase presentation, but it's back in now. So you'll be pleased to know that. So that's important. Drew, a slightly different question for you in relation to you being here. Your cohort had that opportunity to work with the MFA directing students, which I think you referred to briefly, and you did a very strange kind of American courtroom drama, a very contemporary version of, with those MFA directors. What do you recall about that experience, and what did that do for your, how did that develop your skills, do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I think the good thing for me was that I worked with like 4 different directors, I guess, because like there was a Gil who was like, he was the head of the directors, right?
Yes.
So like got to work with him, and then worked with 3 other like directing students. So like I think the most valuable thing for me was that I kind of had to work out how each person was working. You know what I mean? Like each person had a different process, and it's kind of like, and because it was such a quick process, it was, having to adapt to like that person's way of working quite quickly. I think that was super valuable for me.
And absolutely one of the reasons why we look out for collaborative opportunities, so that, again, as I said earlier, you get to negotiate ways of working with other people in other departments or from other disciplines, because that's a huge part of preparing you for the industry. So thank you for those insights, Drew. That's great. Mia, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's occupied your time since you finished the course? What have you been doing? Can you tell us a little bit about that? That would be wonderful.
Yes. So when I finished, I signed with Clinton at CBM, which was an amazing decision. And I shot a pilot at the end of the year that I graduated, I think. And then have now just come back February this year from filming season 1 of The Wilds, which was a TV series that was the pilot that I filmed. And it was great. And now I'm just in Sydney in quarantine, I guess, still waiting for the industry to kind of come back to life. But filming that was an incredible experience. And another reason why I love Les so much is he was so in my corner with that entire experience. And when I was over there filming season 1, I would like message him if I had a problem, or if I had like a question in character development, something like that, I would like message him, and we'd kept in touch, which was lovely. And I think the best part about it was I didn't even feel like it happened so quickly, but I didn't even feel unprepared. And I think that is completely because of my training at NIDA, because of this course. I felt so ready, and I was meant to be there, and I wasn't like nervous or felt like out of place, or that I wasn't, prepared. I was,
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. When can we see it? When's it scheduled to go to air, do you think? Do we know, or is they still deciding?
I actually don't know. It's this year, I think. I actually don't know what I'm allowed to say.
Yeah.
But hopefully this year.
Hopefully this year. We're so looking forward to it, and what an amazing experience, a long shoot, and how fortunate you were that the shoot actually, I think, completed before these restrictions came about. So that's kind of was fortunate too, but
so fortunate.
It must have been amazing, and we can't wait to see you in it. That will be exciting.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Drew, tell us about what you've been doing since you finished the course, because you've had, Mia's just told us she's been in in a shoot that's been over an extended period of time. Sometimes things are shot, you know, quickly, say a film or something, and then you move on to something else. But you've actually been doing something that's also got a kind of extended time frame that is an amazing opportunity. Tell us about what you've been doing, please.
Yeah, I've been working on like with ABC Me, and they have like a show. It's kind of like I'm doing stuff that I didn't think I'd be, like, I'm writing things I didn't think I'd be writing things. And so I've been writing and being in part of like this whole process, like the development of like they're like, what do you want to make? I was like, this, and then we'd sit down and then we'd shoot it, which is awesome. I've learned so much from different parts of the process, not just being in front of the camera. And like, for instance, now we're filming a whole show just on our phones at home, which is, yeah, it's cool. Like I have such an appreciation for lighting and sound and stuff like that now, because I'm running around my house with a green screen and like a light and like the things. And
so when did you stop shooting in the studio? When did that happen?
Well, we had a filming block, and we finished the show that we're working on. Like they're always making shows, so it's like you're always like, yeah, they're always making shows. And we wrapped up that, and then coronavirus came out, and they were like, okay, we're going to be working from home now. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I might go back to the Blue Mountains, because I was in Melbourne. I might go back to the Blue Mountains and see Ma and Pa, and I've just been here like shooting. That's been the process. It was like super quick turnaround. They're like, what can we make? What can we do that's relevant to the times and for people who are stuck inside? So that's been a really awesome, like I sit on my laptop. This is my work laptop now. And I have a producer with me, like watching over me, like setting up the show. He's like, yeah, dude, move that. Yeah. So yeah, it's been really cool. I've learned a lot, and I really appreciate it. And my time with ABC Me, and I'm super grateful for the time there. And I'm still there. I'm talking like I'm not there, but yeah, it's been.
And I have to confess, Drew, I did, some months ago, tune in, and I watched you exercising your improv skills, and I thought, as I say, you keep learning on the job, and how amazing. How that had evolved too. So, you know, we do try and fit a lot of stuff into the course. And as I said earlier, in a year, we can teach you a lot, but I was really happy for you that you're actually getting to exercise that muscle, you know, because it's kind of comedy, it's comedic, and I thought it must be quite challenging.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. What was I going to say? No. I know what I was going to say. What I was going to say was that, like, everything I learned at NIDA, it was like I had this amazing opportunity to put it in practice and like learn again. And so that was awesome. Like, I was doing so many, like a live show every week, and then filming like more content for the TV, and then filming content for online. Like, it's been a really cool experience. Yeah.
Fantastic. Mia, let me throw back to you. The people that are watching today are no doubt considering or interested in, you know, they're wanting to know more about the course and considering maybe applying. I'm wondering what you can tell them, what they might expect, you know, from NIDA. What kind of advice or information can you give them about the kind of year they might have?
Well, it's not going to be easy. You've got to love a challenge, because it's challenging. You're there for long days, 4 days a week, and it's hard, but it's so rewarding. And you're constantly around people that are like-minded, that you understand and like learn from, and everyone. And it's just an amazing environment to be in, and it's so empowering. And you learn a lot about yourself, but it's hard. It's hard, but it's so much fun. I miss it a lot. The structure of being able to play like that every day and act every day, like, and then you graduate and then you're just auditioning and auditioning, hoping that you can just like do that again and like feel that again, you know, and like chasing that sort of high that you guys get to just do 4 days a week. Like it's so much fun, and you get to watch plays, and just being there is just the best. But it is hard. All the best things are kind of hard though, right?
I think that's really inspirational. Drew, if you could have a chat with yourself on day one of starting the course, if you could go back in time and whisper in your ear and give yourself advice about now that you've done the course and you're out in the industry, what kind of advice would you give yourself, do you think?
Yeah, I'd probably say fail as much as you want to,
Yeah.
and don't be scared to, because like even now, like there's days like I'm just walking on the street and I think about times at night and I was like, oh, I should have just done that, or like I should have done this, or like I'd just be like, just fail and do not care what anyone thinks of you, like just do it. Like don't be scared to fail as much as you want. Yeah. So, and then you grow from that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's inspirational too, because I think that is what we hope NIDA is in one sense, is that it's a safe environment in which to actually go for things and try things and learn from that, and not prejudge whether it's right or wrong or good enough or so on. So it is an opportunity to test out a lot of things in relation to performance. Yeah.
Mm.
Fantastic. We're kind of heading towards the end of our chat. So I just wanted to give each of you a virtual hug and say thank you for joining us today. I think those watching, please, any questions that you have if you're watching, join us for the Q&A that happens. I believe it's at 3 o'clock this afternoon. But Drew and Mia, I think it's been just fantastic to hear about your experiences. So again, thank you so much for that. And looking forward to things resuming back to normal, and us getting on with the new normal. That's what people are calling it, the new normal. Everything will have changed, but it'll shift again. So fantastic to see you both. Mia, can't wait till your show is on, and Drew, can't wait to tune in again sometime and see you at work. And good luck with all your future projects, and I can't wait to see you again.
Thank you so much for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.